Isn't it lovely to see you all here today? Oh, and have I got a treat for you? My microphone stretches right up to the back, so there's no escape today. Well, it's a bit late for the new year, isn't it, duckies? But let's have a look and see what the stars have got in store for you. Ooh, let's have a look. Jupiter is in Orion early in the evening, and as Halley's Comet zooms out into space to be lost for another 73 years, we find that Sagittarius is setting low in the western sky just after sun goes down. So will this be a year for you? Well, I hope so. And what about Sagittarius? He's got an arrow and a bow. We shoot little arrows at each other when we fall in love. Ah. What's your star sign, my dear? Capricorn. And what's yours, my man? Dunno. That's a good one. Do you know yours? No, I bet you know yours. Capricorn. Capricorn. Oh! Let's see. Well, what I'm going to do today, I can't give you your life and your luck and your lolly, but I'm going to tell you about your love. Oh, wonderful. And I can't tell you about everybody here, so what I thought I'd do was tell you about those people who are standing and sitting around beside your teacher. So let's see what we've got here. Are you an Aquarius? Who's an Aquarian? Put your hands up if you're an Aquarian. We've got one at the back. Mr. T. Jones, you are the centre of attraction. The opposite sex will fall at your feet in adoration this year, worshipping you for your overpowering personality. Let's see what else we've got. Pisces, the two fishes, are Mrs. Ram and Mr. Ram. Oh, isn't that lovely? Mr. Dunphy and Mrs. Wood. Much will happen to deepen an old romance. But beware, a third person could come between you. Be patient. Aries. Have we got any Aries people here? Of course we have. You know, don't you? Think you're in a rut? Ah, a foreign person will reawaken old passions, fueled by memories of Mediterranean heat. What's been going on, I wonder, Mrs. Trevina? Mr. Fortune, have you been abroad lately? I wonder. Taurus, the bull. There is someone you worship from afar. Be brave. Make the first move yourself today. Taurus you are, and Taurus you must be. Be ferocious. Exert your powerful personality, and you will win the hardest heart. Mr. Crow, Mr. Lee, and Mr. Whitty. How about that? Gemini! Mrs. Bramley, are you there? Mrs. Jenkins, Mr. P. Jones, Mrs. Robinson, Mr. Copus. Spring and autumn are wonderful for you this year. You will blossom with the apple trees and warm to a new romance as the fruits ripen. Ooh, in the autumn. Cancer, what is it about you that lends an air of quiet confidence? Your star sign, of course, all you people in Cancer. You're a good catch for any aspiring spouse. So girls, if you've got your eye on Mr. Lewis, now's the time. Let's see what we've got for Virgo. Oh dear, this is me. You're in the mood for love this year. Joyce Hanbury, she would have kissed me under the mistletoe. Oh, well, how about a second honeymoon at the South Pole? That's an excuse to cuddle up and keep warm, isn't it? Ah, Libra, cheeky you. Well, hey, what's this? Look out, you're being swept along on a tide of emotion and passion. Use your logical Libran mind to return to Earth before it's too late. Watch out, Mr. Fool, you're getting carried away. Hey, what about this? Mr. Hackett, Mrs. Latimer, Mr. Grovert, Mr. Richardson, Miss Sullins and Mr. Walton? Listen to this. All your relationships are saucy and spicy. Beware of the traps laid by someone younger than yourself. Hello, hello. I didn't know that Miss Bullymore fancied Mr. Walton. Never mind. But don't fight it too much. We all know he's lovely. There we are. Sagittarius. Mrs. Taylor. I forget which one that was. Never mind. Is there someone you long to meet? Oh, you know, it is girls, don't you? You can see him walking down the street. Jason Holloway. And you think he's lovely. And he doesn't know you even exist. Listen, arrange a little accident so that you bump into them this year. Trim up now. This must be Mrs. S. Taylor. Is it time for a diet? Here's another one. Mr. Andrews and Mr. Ridley. You're not doing your best lately. Girls love to mother you. How about a new hairstyle? To keep up with the fashion, I tell you what. Give me a clap. Isn't it okay? Isn't it a laugh? It's marvellous. It's great. It makes you feel good. There's somebody talking about me. Somebody's telling me what to expect today. But please don't take it too seriously. Because really, when you get down to it, it's a load of old rubbish. Of course it is. Of course it is. Listen. Jupiter is the sign of royalty. The planet Jupiter. Saturn is the planet that was supposed to protect Israel. And we're a bit late now for the Christmas star, aren't we? But at around about the time Jesus was born, Saturn and Jupiter looked as though they joined together in the sky. Of course they didn't. They were thousands and thousands and thousands of miles apart. But from Earth, that's how it seemed. And some men who were astronomers had worked this out, and they came a long, long, long way on their cameras, I suppose, to see Jesus. And strangely enough, though it may seem, these two planets came together up in the sky where the fishes, or Pisces, are. You see, Mr. and Mrs. Brown. Yeah? And Pisces, the fish, was a sign of Israel. The early people who were Christians, after Jesus had been crucified, used the fish as a sign. But if you start to take all these lovely things that we've been having some fun with too seriously, what you do is take your mind off God. And he don't like that. In fact, listen to this. This is what he wrote in a very old part of the Bible called Deuteronomy. He hates those who look for signs in what he created. Don't, he told Moses, let your people practice divination or look for omens in the stars. Use spells or charms or seek to contact the spirits of the dead. The Lord your God hates people who do these disgusting things. That's because you're putting your mind on things that have been on earth instead of things that have been in heaven. Here's a story. Saul was a great king of Israel. And he fought the Philistines, who used to live in a place called Gaza today. And Saul, when a bit bad in his old age, he lost contact with God. He turned the dial on his radio and got out of tune. And God wouldn't talk to him or communicate to him through prophets or priests or give him advice through members of his church or anything. And Saul, when he was a good guy, had sent all the witches out of the country. All the people who read teacups, though he didn't have any, and looked at crystal balls. Don't know what they used for that. But that's who he sent away. People looked at the stars and worked things out. And he said, get rid of all these folk. And in the end, there was one old lady who didn't go. She was called the Witch of Endor. And she was dressed all in old clothes and rags. There was nobody to look after her. And Saul came along in disguise. And he said, I want you to summon up the spirit of Samuel. And Samuel had died, you see. And she said, no, I can't do that. Because if Saul catches me, he'll whack me off. Do it, he said, Lord, you will. So she did it. And she called up this spirit, who is there anybody there? You see. And Samuel said, what do you welcome me up for? There's a man here who wants to know what the future holds for him. Well, tell him tomorrow he'll be dead. Just imagine what Saul felt like. And you know, next morning, what happened? Head off to the stars. Now, in the Bible, Jesus said this to people who were listening to him talk like you're listening today. He said, don't worry about tomorrow. Why do we look at our star sign things in the paper? Why do we? To know about tomorrow. A load of rubbish. Don't worry about tomorrow, he says. It will bring enough worries of its own. Don't add to the troubles each day brings. You've got quite enough to cope with without worrying about what tomorrow's going to do to you. Very sound advice. This is something that I'm interested in. I got that for Christmas. The amateur astronomer. Don't confuse that with astronomers. You all know Patrick Moore, big bushy eyebrows, huge old suit, whopping belly, who comes on and tells people on the telly about the stars. The actual stars, the real stars, not your horror, as I call them, scopes. You know, it's a strange thing, isn't it? This week, we saw how 7 people were sacrificed just like that in man's quest to go to the stars. Now, something like that happened nearly 2,000 years ago. God had, if you like, his own astronaut, and it was Jesus. And he sacrificed him just like that, so that he could win not the stars, but people's hearts on earth. And if he'd done that, there'd be no need for the old Witch of Endor, and for us to keep Grussell Rant in a well-paid job, though he does entertain us, doesn't he? And we can't deny him that. But that's what I want you to think about. Remember that God has made a sacrifice. The stars, if you like, have come down to us. And as you go through life, don't worry about the Grussell Rant. According to him, I'm going to be phenomenally rich by the end of February. Oh, they must be going to settle the teachers' dispute. It's all my back pay. That's what it's going to do. Yeah? I don't believe any of that. That's all. Instead, put your faith in God and let him lead you from day to day and give him the worries about tomorrow. Thank you, President. Goodbye.